brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good morning.
Let me know, who are you and where are you coming from?
I'm Gorilla Hebrew, man. I'm from West Iowa, straight like that.
Real. So what are you bringing to the table today as far as like the podcast? Like, well, let us know a little bit about your personality and what sets you different from these other people out here.
I mean, well, number one, man, I got, a deeply spiritual background. I gave my life to God some time ago, so I've been mostly doing spiritual content. But I got a great knowledge and expertise base from the spiritual stuff to the street stuff. I'm still tapped into the streets from all sides of the country. I stay in Atlanta now, but I'm from the West Coast originally, Hilltop, Tacoma, Washington. Then I moved to California. So I got a real wide range of understanding from the streets, the Bible, the Quran, and everything, history, pop culture, everything. So I think, you'd be hard-pressed to find a person more well-rounded than me, for sure.
I love that, man. I love hearing the spiritual side. You don't sound like a crash out. You sound like a very switched-on man. Let us know how you're manifesting success in today's show.
Man, through keeping the commandments of the Most High God, man. And, when you keep His laws,
Let them know, brother. How are you?
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing His word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And what I want to get into today, is that little clip, all right, from this guy, Al-Azhar. And what we seeing, is a complete embarrassment, man. And the scriptures go into this. All right, and I want to get into it. All right, but this guy, he put on as this chief priest. Now, if anything, this guy, was cosplaying. Okay, he was just a dress-up Israelite. All right, he didn't take this thing serious because you see, above anything, he upholds, street culture above everything. That's what he prides himself in, is being known, all right, for the streets. Okay, which anybody, would have a sense knowing he's not no real tough guy. All right, he's just a flunky of the streets, that's happy to be associated with that. Okay, but at the end of the day, this man, was this, esteemed, chief priest, amongst, his congregation, and now he has to go and beg the world, okay, for employment. He prided himself on, how much, he had coming in and all this and that. But now, we see this man going to the world, all right, and No Jumper, is ran by a known Satanist, okay, Adam 22. Okay, he's known for his lewdness, letting men, deal with his woman. But it makes sense because this guy let, Al-Azhar, he let men deal with his woman. So they both what they call cuckolds. Okay, so it makes sense. Me personally, I hope the nigga get the job and just go deeper and deeper into darkness, man. And just be reserved for the destruction of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay, and this man has, set a lot of Israelites up for failure. Okay, and there's going to be simple Israelites that's going to follow this man no matter what he does. Okay, because it was allotted, for them, to follow this man to their destruction. Okay, the blind lead the blind. Now, I want to go here and get a few precepts. I ain't going to make this long. All right. Let's go here. And then this nigga had the audacity to talk about keeping the commandments, man. What, nigga? What? All right. So let's go here to Sirach 1:29. It said, "Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed when thou speakest." Okay? And this man's a complete hypocrite. This nigga still has the audacity and the nerve to talk about keeping the commandments when he's guilty of the lewdest or the most lewdest, all right, laws, okay, that there is, man. Okay? Pushing your wife to adultery, and then you getting, sodomized by the woman, okay? That's Sodom and Gomorrah, man. That's Canaanite behavior, man. Okay, but since wickedness is so acceptable in this society, and there's no shame, but the scriptures say the wicked know no shame. All right, but the audacity of this nigga to talk about the commandments, man. This nigga shouldn't even utter about a commandment, man. As lewd as this nigga is, man. Okay, it says, "Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed when thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul, and so the Most High discover thy secrets," man. And that's what happened to a guy like this. And he didn't want that to get out. Okay? Now, whether, Esau got him going through, a ritual or what, but we know one thing. People that love attention hate embarrassment, man. Okay? People that have these egos, they hate embarrassment, man. So ultimately we know the Lord, all right, is orchestrating everything at the end of the day. Okay? And it's hard for him to pull off that tough guy persona that he once had, this, okay? This scholar in the law. No, man, you can't play that anymore. Okay? So now, he's just finna fully go into the world, and this is what he been wanting to do. Okay? The Bible was holding him back. The scriptures, okay? The expectation that came with being in the truth, the standard that came with being in the truth was holding him back for what he wanted to be anyway. Now he can be that. Okay? And it says, "And so the Most High discovered thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not into the truth," okay, in truth to the fear of the Lord, "but thy heart is full of deceit." Man, this man was never, okay, a sincere believer. All right, he never was sincere. All right, repentive. Okay, he was an opportunist, man. And this truth was an opportunity for him to be something that he can never be in the world. And he created a platform, okay, to be this podcast, okay, character, okay, to be this, this influencer, okay. So now the truth set up a platform for him to do what he really wanted to do, and the Lord has cast him down in the midst of the congregation, man. Because he was full of deceit. Okay, this man was never, all right, truly repentant, man. Okay, and the Lord is going to do this across the board. That's why we got to constantly examine ourselves, man, and ensure, like, are we truly in this thing, man? Okay, because the Lord, all right, is going to cause everything to come to the light, man. Okay, living a double life, and you got this going on, and you playing around. The Lord gonna bring everything to the light. And it's going to be a lot more exposure in the times to come. Okay, and you would think, Jake would chill, but Jake's still wilding. Jake's that, that know they BS and they're wilding. They see what's happening to this man, and they'll continue on and they're following. Okay, and that's why the Lord, he got to show niggas, man. The Lord can't tell niggas, he got to show niggas, man. Only the elect take heed to verbal warning. Okay, only the hopeful elect, take heed to verbal warning. Everyone else, all right, just got to be shown, man. All right, so let's go here real quick to the book of Luke, chapter 14, and verse 27. I started 26, and I read this in the NLT. It says, "If you want to be my disciple, you must hate everyone else by comparison. Your father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even your own life. Otherwise, you cannot be my disciple. And if you do not carry your own cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple," man. And see, this man loved his life, his situation, more than the ministry, man. The ministry was a side thing. It was, like I say, it was a tool. Okay, it was a stepping stone for him to do what he really wanted to do, and that's this: to be on no jumper with popular niggas and street niggas and gang bangers. That's what he wanted to do, man. Okay, you see, this truth calls us to sacrifice, man. See, there's a true sacrifice that's in this thing, man. The Lord calls us causes us to sacrifice, man. You see, even our own ambition, things that we had, that we thought we wanted to do, man. The Lord requires a lot of sacrifice, man, and that's where, line is being drawn, man. Because there's men that ain't willing to make that sacrifice, man. They love their situation in this world, okay, more than their responsibility to the Most High, man, through Yahweh Shai. Okay, so reading on, it says, but don't begin until you count the cost. For who will begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there is enough money to finish? Otherwise, you might complete only the foundation before running out of money, and then everyone will laugh at you. They would say, there's the person who started that building and couldn't afford to finish it, man. And he began his ministry, but he couldn't afford to finish. He didn't have, the spiritual wealth, okay, within him to finish building. Okay, now Sakari, is a laughing stock. Okay, and if you're an Israelite and you're still going under that banner of Sakari, man, god damn. You see? If you're an Israelite, you call yourself a teacher, and you're still going under the banner of that tarnished, okay, legacy of the Sakari. All right, here it is. It was a tarnished legacy back, during the time of Rome. Okay, the Sakari. It's a horrible legacy, what them niggas was on. And then the new Sakari in this time, all right, has a horrible legacy. And you Jakes, if you Jake still going on the banner of Sakari, the Lord set you up for ultimate failure, man. Okay, because that brand Sakari, what this guy began to build, okay, is a laughing stock, man. Okay. Now, when you think of Sakari, think of the pagan kit, the mysterious pagan kit, man. Okay, now you don't even think about the debates, and when you think of Sakari, instantly you think of this mysterious pagan kit. Where did it go, man? Okay, and it says, or what king will go to war against another king without first sitting down with his counselors to discuss whether his army of 10,000 could defeat the 20,000 soldiers marching against him? And if he can't, he will send a delegation to discuss terms of peace while the enemy is far off. So you cannot be my disciple without giving up everything you own. And it's going to come a time we're going to have to give up everything, man. So if you can't give up trying to be popular in this world, all right, your ambitions and, your enterprise that you have in this world, if you're not willing to give that up, you're not worthy, man. We're not worthy if we're not willing to give these things up, man. And the Lord just keep requiring more and more of us, man. Okay, and the more he requires, those that didn't count the cost, that's not fully into this thing, they're not going to make it to the next tier. Okay, so what we see with this guy is someone that began to build but didn't have enough spiritual wealth to finish, man. All right, because he was never fully into this thing. He was partially invested, man. So when it comes time to give more and more, all right, he wasn't feeling it and he out. Okay, and he led you niggas down to a dead end road. All right, you niggas and you ratchet ass, all right, women that was following this nigga. He led your ass to a dead end road. Okay, you don't know what you believe. Okay, you still think you are perfect in the commandments. Okay, you just out here, man. Okay, so yeah, man, the Lord has made this nigga a laughing stock, man. Let's listen to this nigga again, man.
Let them know, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good morning.
Let me know, who are you and where are you coming from?
I'm really Hebrew, man. I'm from West Iowa, straight like that.
Real. So what are you bringing to the table today as far as like the podcast? Like, well, let us know a little bit about your personality and what sets you different from these other people out here.
I mean, well, number one, man, I got, a deeply spiritual background. I gave my life to God some time ago, so I've been mostly doing spiritual content, but I got a great knowledge and expertise base from the spiritual stuff to the street stuff. I'm still tapped into the streets from all sides of the country. I stay in Atlanta now, but I'm from the West Coast originally, Hilltop, Tacoma, Washington. Then I moved to California. So I got a real wide range of understanding from the streets, the Bible, the Quran, and everything, history, pop culture, everything. So I think, you'd be hard-pressed to find a person more well-rounded than me, for sure.
I love that, man. I love hearing the spiritual side. You don't sound like a crash out. You sound like a very switched on man. Let us know how you're manifesting success in today's show.
Man, through keeping the commandments of the Most High God, man. And when you keep his laws,
Let them know, brother. How are you doing?
As you can see on the comment board, all right, simple niggas are gonna follow him to a missile, man. Showing you that it's the Lord, that has men, just blinded. Okay. So if you need a video to see that this nigga is off, man, there's a great chance there's no helping you, man. Okay. So that's the point. I'm gonna make this long. Spend a lot of time on this nigga, man. Hey, Shalom.